Never took a day off. Knew this shit would pay off.
I knew it would pay off. Just slap him right in the face. I'm like, what the hell?
What about Brandon Spikes?
I knew you was gonna say that.
I had to.
Thank you.
I knew you was gonna go there. I knew it. You're a hustler. You're a con artist.
I know my body. You don't know my body. I know my body.
We're gonna smack Coach Elliott today. Like, we're gonna make sure we let him feel it. Welcome to the SEC. I'm like, ooh, wee. I convinced Norwood to come to South Carolina.
Look at this idiot. Golly, you're still so fat.
Yeah, I am. The best thing you can be is a positive voice in somebody's head when they're alone. You know, that's why I got it tatted on my heart, you know, because South Carolina changed my life. Let's go! Slide!
All right, the kids are home. It's afternoon, so Dad has the dorky headphones on for this episode intro.
Looks good on you, man. Looks real good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully I look better for you than I feel. But speaking of it, last week was a tough one. Lost to Missouri. We're sitting here at 2-2, 4 games in. You know, we haven't clicked on all cylinders yet, so I do think that there's an opportunity for. I mean, it's bound to happen, right? The offense just to get rolling. Lenore's playing at a high level. Rasul and Attaway, you know, productive early down run game. Yeah, I'm holding on to hope. I would love to see us run the quarterback, like direct run. Shit, we ran you. Why would we not run him?
It's a great question. And I think that's what every person that's watching these games is asking. And I'm sure you see on social media, man, these fans are kind of riled up right now. So I don't know. We got to have a pretty damn good showing this week against Kentucky.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously with the preseason hype with Heisman
Right.
talks and all that stuff didn't really help. I mean, but Shane, I feel like has always been pretty good about, hey, we have a young team. Like this is going to be a tough season. Obviously, the schedule in the SEC is brutal, but I mean, I think this is a great week to get back on track. Right, we're going right into the gauntlet right after this week.
Right.
So Kentucky at home, night game, big time chance to rebound, and then head off.
I mean, I feel like we have to. This is a must win. I feel like
Yeah,
to kind of keep the sanity for these fans.
Yeah, if we don't win this one, I find it hard to get to 7 wins, which I think should be the standard, minimum 7.
100%.
So, but I could tell you, guys,
I'll say this much. At least we're not the school upstate. They are in a whirlwind of shit right now.
Holy cow, yeah. That's been fun to watch. Our games have not been fun to watch. Their games have been very fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, I don't want to stomp on anybody when they're down, but I can make an exception for those guys. But I mean, seeing Dabo kind of squirm is it's almost cringy to watch how he's just so like adamant and like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
It's quite joyous to see him like lose his mind and not get his way. And the ball has bounced the Tigers' way for a long time. It's about time.
A very long time. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like he has, not to go completely on Clemson rant right here, but I feel like he's got a valid point. I mean, the last 10 years, they've been pretty freaking good. So
hell yeah. I mean, they're a perennial powerhouse. You can sit there and say that as a Carolina faithful. I mean, Clemson's been a program that's been what everybody's wanted to achieve over the last 10 years. And that's what everybody aspires to be. But going into this week, I mean, last week was the fullback mentality, bring your lunch pail. And damn, through 3 quarters, I feel like we did. And then we hung on, and then we kind of lost it there towards the end. But this week, we need some energy.
Oh, yeah.
And our guest this week is bringing the freaking heat.
No matter what, no matter when, no matter where, he was amped at all freaking times, almost to a fault, to the point where we're like, man, shut the hell up, please.
No doubt. And this is an episode that any Gamecock fan does not want to miss. The stories that, I mean, obviously, let's disclose the guest. It's Terrence Campbell, T-Camp, YPC, never took a day off, knew the shit would pay off, like all the sayings, all the hype. But he just brought the energy day in, day out when everybody was sluggish and everybody was dying. He was there to uplift you. I mean,
The ultimate hype man.
Yeah, I mean, we recorded this episode in June, so it's 3 months ago, and he was down here because he was volunteering his time, was basically working Coach Beamer's camp for free just to get access, just to get the experience. He's only been in coaching for 3 years now. He's already coaching a position group. So I hope the best, and Gamecock fans will love this episode because the stories. T Camp was the ultimate recruiter, was outside of you, was one of the ultimate glue guys on our team. So it's one that they do not want to miss for sure.
Yeah, the stories are endless. Dakota was telling me before you got on here, he's like, dude, I had a smile on my face watching and editing this entire podcast. So, I mean, you got to think about it. He's one of our old buddies, and it's kind of why we ended up doing this whole podcast in general, just to have Gamecock fans, get a inside look of how it was when we were playing. So, this is definitely one you want to just, as we said, press play, watch it, listen to it on whatever platform you do, and have a beer and just listen to some of these stories because he is a hell of a storyteller.
Yeah, his energy is contagious. Fans, make sure you listen to this episode. I mean, I feel like he has a story for everybody that we played with during our era. So check it out. Remember, we're on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us get some feedback, and really excited for you all to listen to this week's episode with Terrence Campbell.
Yep, absolutely. And hey, let's not forget, man. I think the prayers were answered. Our boy Connor, Gamecock Supply Company. I mean, that's we're pumped to see that he made a little recovery. So, Connor, man, I'm glad to hear that you're all right, buddy.
Yep. When I exchanged a couple texts with him on Saturday or Sunday, and he said, "Blessings, prayers have been answered." God had an angel when all this happened. I guess the coach that he was coaching against was a doctor that came over and was the hero. So, I mean, you and I, Dakota. I think all of Gamecock Nation was praying hard all weekend for Connor. So glad you pulled through and on to recovery. And you're a tough SOB, dude. Not many others would be able to sustain that.
No doubt. So, all right, man. Hell of an episode. Go check it out, guys. Terrence Campbell, T Camp. Never took a day off.
Tailgate Talks is proudly presented by our title sponsor, Greens Beverages, South Carolina's go-to spot for all things beer, wine, and spirits.
Whether you're stocking up for the tailgate, the back porch, or the big Gamecock win, Greens has the best selection at unbeatable prices.
Visit greensbeverages.com to find their nearest location. They have a ton of them, and load up before kickoff.
Big cheers and even bigger victories this fall. Thanks to our friends at Greens Beverages, who've been keeping Steven and I hydrated since 2007.
All right, Gamecock fans, this season we're raising a glass to bold flavors and even bolder conversations. Tailgate Talks is fueled by Bullet Bourbon, the official bourbon of backyard grills, pregame huddles, and postgame victory toast. Whether you're sipping it neat or mixing up Gamecock-style old-fashioned, Bullet's smooth finish keeps the tailgate vibes rolling. So pour one, press play, and let's talk some football. Bullet Bourbon, frontier whiskey for Gamecock Nation.
Look at this idiot.
Let's rock and roll, boys.
All right.
Let's go.
Here we go. We are here up at the Ops building, Ken and Cindy Long, with one of the Gamecock greats, my guy, T-Camp.
Oh, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Here. Happy to be here. Appreciate y'all doing this. I love this.
Yeah, he's on a kind of, he's down here for the week doing camp, working with the O-line, D-line, kind of spreading your wisdom, showing some love. Always bringing the energy.
Energy. That's why I'm really here. You know, I'm learning a lot from the staff. I'm learning a lot just being up here and being in the building. You know, a lot of things, you know, we use different terminology, but it's really just energy. You know, I'm really just here to, you know, to light it up and have a good time, you know.
Your energy is infectious, and it freaking kept us two fat boys going sometimes, man. We needed
all
you.
The fat boys
we
going.
needed you a lot. And you brought it all the time. You always answered.
God, it was annoying as shit though, man.
I think
Never took
everybody have
a
a
never took
role
a
on
day
the
off.
team. I think everybody has a role on the team. You know, I think everybody's role is a little different. You know, some guys, you know, they can just show up like a Stephon Gilmore. He ain't got to talk a lot. He'll just show up. He gonna ball. You know, he gonna work hard. You know, like I think my role was to, you know, I'm gonna work hard, but you know, to yell it out. You know, to say some things, come up with some different stuff. You know, I think that's what made us so good is that we all accepted our role.
Hey, hey, a story that I'll never forget. I remember seeing Wesley Saunders. He like kind of basically just passed out, lay down on the floor on the turf, and was like, "I know my body. You don't know my body. I know my body." And all of a sudden, I hear T Camp screaming on the other side of the field. Never took a day off. Knew this shit would pay
I
off.
knew
And I'm
it
like,
would
"Oh
pay
my god."
off, you know, like, and it was just like we had little mottos and things. I think that everybody, we kind of just all just like, man, we dead tired out here, and then you get hear somebody yelling, and you like, I got
Oh, it
some
was
more in
brutal.
me, you
Well,
know.
you brought it. DJ Swearinger brought
Yep.
it. We had the dynamic of our team. Like we had the definition of a team. There were quiet guys like Stephon, like myself.
Alshon,
There were guys that
yep.
were willing to step up and put their neck out there, and that was kind of I think the really cool dynamic. And then how we all hung out and did shit together outside the building.
That was the biggest
Yep.
thing.
That was how you
Yep.
create a team.
That was the biggest thing. It didn't matter if it was the offensive line hanging with I was an offensive lineman. You know, I hung out with Akeem, Cully. I hung out with everybody. You know, I hung out with, you know, when Q Rich was here, I went to TJ Johnson, you know what I mean? I hung out with AJ Ken. Like, I hang out with everybody, you know, and I think that was the thing that helped us the most was that, you know, that we all hang out and do stuff together. Even if everybody may not have been on the same thing. You know,
It builds trust, it builds love, it builds loyalty, all the things that it requires to go out there on Saturday when you got to rely on the other 10. You only can do 1/11th of your job, but you got to trust the other 10.
Exactly.
So that was built on those late nights when we were out drinking. Those were built on those early mornings when we were running. Everything, man.
Cookouts we used to have
Yeah, we
and
talked
stuff.
about it.
Like, you know, like this guy right here, go ahead and say.
He was the glue.
He was.
He was the inclusive one with everybody,
100%.
made sure nobody was missing.
100%. You know, I think that was big, and you know that the staff used to tell us to do that. You know, they used to promote. They used to pull me to the side. I used to have a guy, you know, Fitz would pull me to the side. Like, hey man, we need to have a cookout this weekend. What y'all need out there? What y'all want to do? And you know, it's like, appreciate it, coach. Let's do that. You know, because you know, I always believe like. Yeah, the leadership comes from the coaching staff. You need that because we kids. You know, you need a coach. You need somebody, an adult, to kind of tell you some stuff. But then after they tell you, now it comes to us. You know, and now it's the players.
You gotta have the infantry, the military in there to go dig around and make sure everything's in line.
There you go, because they can only do so much. You know, so
I'll tell you what. Our cookouts would have looked a lot different if we had NIL money like these guys do now.
Steak and lobster tail instead of
not them hot dogs, them hamburgers, not them little hot dogs, them little hamburgers, everything. We used to get 30 pack of hamburgers, the whole 30 pack. They all on top of each other in a
bubble burgers.
Bubble burgers.
Things are disgusting.
And throw some seasoning on them. We'll just hook it up. It was the best time though, man. You know, I always think back to like when Coach Sprayer used to tell us, you know, I never forget, he used to always be like, man, college is gonna be the best time of y'all life. You know, y'all remember when he used to say that?
100%.
He used to say that in the huddle all the time. He used to be like, you know, college is gonna be the best time of your life. And I think, you know, I done had a lot of fun outside of college and after college, but I still think college was the best time of my life. Just because we was all the same age. We was all like, we kind of from the Southeastern Conference.
Well, and like, you're kind of forced to hang out with the same group of guys, which makes you develop that relationship on a much deeper level. You know,
100%.
we'd be at parties, we'd be at dinner or something, and you're sitting with somebody you've never sat with before, and you're having a deep level conversation, a private conversation. Something else is going on over here, and it just like goes around, and the circle builds, and the circle of trust builds, and that's why Saturdays, I mean, 2009, 2010, and 11, and so on and so forth, like the foundation was set, what leadership needed to look like, what play needed to look like, what the culture needed to look like, and it just kept growing, and Beamer's building it back here, and obviously grateful for him letting us come back into this building and do these type of things, letting you come up here and coach, and
man,
he's a special man.
100%, and I'm very, very thankful for it, man. This building is beautiful. The stuff they got going on is beautiful. I love it. I love the process that they're embarking on the kids. You know, I'm just enjoying it being up here, and I see it. You know, and I love they got training up here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who come from the era where we was, you know, and you know,
Right.
we did it that way. So I like that they got him up here and he's doing that. And then Elliott is back and he's the same way. You know, Elliott was my guy. You know, that was
crazy.
Crazy. Like that was my guy. I do some of the stuff that he did. You know, like one of the biggest things that he did, like now that I'm coaching, it was, you know, he used to get in there and fight us.
Yep.
Like pregame, we used to have pregame, we'll be on the field, and right before we about to go out there, he'll snatch you by the face, man. So we used to like, me and Rakeevius, we used to like, we gonna take shots on him. Like, we gonna smack Coach Elliott today. Like, we gonna make sure we let him feel it.
He's a tough son of a bitch.
He is. So, man, I really appreciate him, man. I think he was a big part of that culture change as well. Him and Fitz.
Yep.
You know,
No doubt.
I think Fitz enough.
Yep.
You know.
He was a dog.
He was.
Well, shit, let's take it all the way back to the beginning. When did you start playing football? What was the reasoning? I know you played basketball and other sports too. You used to say you were the best basketball player on the team. I don't think that's true.
I definitely felt that way. You know, as outside them boys, I used to drill. I still can get to them now. I still be out there knocking them down. I might only got one or two games in me now, but I still be. But yeah, man, it started, you know, I say it started in middle school, you know, middle school playing ball. You know, I was fortunate enough that, you know, I was in Georgia around some good talent. You know, I got to learn a lot and played a lot of ball at a young age. And then going to high school, you know, at my high school, you know, I got connected with a lot of good ball players and stuff like that as well. And at first, I was, like you said, I was playing basketball. You know, I wasn't even thinking about football. One of my high school coaches, you know, he told me, he was like, hey, they only give out 3 or 4 basketball scholarships a year. They give out 25 in football. You only 6'3" now. You know, you ain't playing center here. You are center. So let's think about this now. Like, you need to get on the football field. So I think, you know, like my 11th grade year, it just changed for me. You know, I got out there on the field. And, well, I was already playing, but I really, you know, embrace the off-season grind. I was doing a lot of AAU before. AAU basketball, playing with the Georgia Stars, you know, thinking that I'm going to go hoop and play basketball.
Straight to the league.
Yeah. Not even close. So I ended up, you know, playing ball, and then my 11th grade year, I just ended up just blossoming. I don't know, like I got really good, you know, and I went to some camps that summer, and, you know, the camps really what took me to that next level of getting offers, you know, and then it was like once Georgia offered me, it was like,
game's on.
Everybody, you know, everybody came in. So I think it was just one of those things where I was, you know, I was big, I was long, I was lanky. You know, I was playing defensive line at this time. I was playing DN, and I kind of just had a, you know, a physical mentality, you know, like I was, you know, having fun. You know, I never forget Coach Nix, you know, when he recruited me, you know, he told me when I got up there, he was like, be like you is in Atlanta. You know, bring that same energy to South Carolina like you was at your high school.
You did, brother. You did.
Hey, yeah, I did. It took a while. You know, I went through some ups and downs from, you know, got to college in 2006, you know. And, you know, with me getting hurt my freshman year, I was 17 being behind the Lindsay twins at first. Tore my knee up my freshman year. Norwood was the other opposite end of it. We both came out together from the same area. So it was exciting, man. It was a good times. And then just from there, you know, after I tore my knee up, you know, I moved to D-Talk. I wasn't the same as far as, you know, D-Talk was different. You know, they on you now. And I'm in the SEC with these big boys.
Let me play on the edge.
Hey, I want to be out the edge. So, you know, it was kind of, it was a different ball game. And I never forget, like, there was like Q Rich had just got there. Quentin Richardson, he had just got there, and he pancaked me. And like we were doing like a board drill or something. He pancaked, and I was just like, oh, my time at D-line is done. I'm like, I am done at D-line. And literally like that, like later on that season, you know, Coach Spread came to me and was like, hey, you're at the bottom of the depth chart at D-Tackle. You know,
I want
you're
you
a
to play.
fighter. You know what I mean? I think you can come help us out on the O-line. I'm like, nah, Coach.
Yeah. I like it over here.
I'm going to stay right here at the bottom of the depth chart like a dummy. So I end up, you know, he know more than me. Coach Sid was staying after practice with me, helping me out a lot with the offensive line stuff. And I ended up getting an opportunity. My first start was him and my quarterback. Do you remember that game? That was my first start. We was playing like, oh, my goodness.
Was it UAB?
UAB. It was UAB. And I got that picture. I'm going to frame it, dude, where I jumped over the guy and you running right there.
On the draw play.
Yes, on the draw play. That was that's my first ever game starting.
You look like an athlete.
I look like an athlete. I'm going to frame that. That's one of my favorite photos of, you know, me and Garcia, man. But, you know, I think that was, that was a start of something special for myself, getting the opportunity to play O-line. And, I think it was perfect for me.
Yep.
I felt like I was faster as an offensive lineman. I still had that same fight mentality. I just had to learn the technique and gain weight, so I think I played throughout here and there sparingly throughout the 2007 season. I was undersized. Same thing with 2008 and 2008 I played, and then 2009, I was playing as well, and then 10 I ended up
took over.
10 I took over. I was starting, but then Kenny passed away, and then that's when I missed the whole year from that, and then 11 was my best year by far. That was when we balled out, and I had a great year as well. So man, I think it was one of the best things that happened to me was listen to somebody who know ball more than me.
Yep.
Was Coach Spurrier.
A lot of people smarter than us.
A lot of people.
Listen to them. Rely on them.
So I think that was what really helped me out, man. So yeah, that was cool.
Well, tell us. Take us even back. Like George offered you. What was the recruiting process like? Why did you come to South Carolina? You could have went to several other schools. Like, what was the ultimate reason on why you came here? I know you had Kenny and Norwood.
Yeah.
You had similar faces.
Yeah. Norwood actually he was going to Oklahoma State. I convinced Norwood to come to South Carolina. Because he was going to Oklahoma State.
Well done.
I know, right? Hey,
No shit.
Yeah, he was going to Oklahoma State originally.
Okay.
So then I got on the map and I started, I was playing well, and we found out we was around each other and stuff like that. I went to South Cobb, he went to North Cobb. Yep. So, we ended up, just connecting and stuff, and, we just ended up going to camps to get stuff together. His dad was driving us to camps, what I mean? Really, that's who really got me exposure was his dad.
Okay.
Taking me to camps and stuff with them because they found out I was a good ball player as well in the city. I think Norwood he was already known. He was already known in our area. So I was a late bloomer. I had all those offers and stuff, and the main thing was, Carlos Thomas was up here. Those guys from Georgia, those guys was some wild, fun guys, man. So,
crazy.
It's crazy. So when I come up here on a visit, I'm hanging out with a Sydney. I'm hanging out with Kenny.
You're like, I'm home.
I'm hanging out with Carlos Thomas. We doing all these things, and I'm like, man, this is where I'm coming. Like this is. It felt like home. It felt like I was around other people who were, if not just like me, very similar.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was like the first time, like we go out to parties and everything like that. I'm just like, this is.
We had a shitload of big personalities, especially. Yeah, my goodness gracious.
Like you, Captain Munderland, like all of us on a visit together too. Pierre Andrews on this visit, like everybody was. Gary Anderson was on this visit with me. Like everybody was on this visit. Like we had a whole.
Everybody came.
Yeah, everybody came too. All them guys came. Kevin Young was a 4-star lineman. All
Stephen
them was.
Part of a good class.
Ryan Broadhead.
T-Camp, I was just hanging out with Ryan Broadhead, just bought a house over by me. And I was out there over there the other night drinking beers with him and Seaver Brown.
Hey, I would love to see them guys. Hutch Eckerson. Like
Hutch is in Charlotte,
I remember all them guys coming in and being huge offensive linemen, big time. And we had just signed Chris Smedley. Like he was a big time quarterback out of Alabama. So I think it was just like, South Carolina it just felt like home. Then, Coach Spurrier was here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go play under a guru.
Who wouldn't want to come play for the old ball coach? I remember those Florida days, and I wasn't playing offense, but, I'm thinking I'm going to get the rest of the passer.
He's scoring 40 in Florida.
So I'm thinking I'm going to get the rush the passer. Like, I'm coming here, I'm going to be able to rush the passer, and, I think that was one of the main reasons why I came, because, it felt like home. Kenny was already here. Coach Spurrier, and it was perfect, man. But I turned Norwood from Oklahoma State to come to South Carolina.
Hell yeah, we needed that.
Didn't even know I was doing it. Didn't even know that was what was going on at the time. But that's what ended up. I knew he was committed to Oklahoma State, but then
TFL sack leader in school history.
Come on, man, he was a bad boy.
You're the best recruiter in town.
Hey, sign me up.
We talk a lot about defining moments when it comes to football.
One choice can change the entire outcome of a game or season.
Moments that seem small often make a substantial impact in the long run, and that is true in all facets of life.
Like whom you choose to bank with?
Picking the right bank can make a huge difference in finding success.
That's why you need to elevate your financial game with Founders Federal Credit Union. Their rates are always competitive, and they've got trusted financial tools that help keep your financial goals on track.
Don't forget their service to their membership and community is unrivaled.
Get in the game today. Swing by a Founders office near you or visit foundersfcu.com to apply for membership. Founders is federally insured by the NCUA. Membership qualification is required. Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Steelhand Brewing in Casey has you covered. Whether you're craving a refreshing craft beer or just a great time with friends and family, Steelhands has it all. With a variety of craft beers, spacious outdoor beer gardens, and a delicious food menu, there's something for everyone. Plus, join them for free live music every Thursday through Sunday. Visit steelhandsbrewing.com to see their lineup of upcoming events or host your own. Handforce and Casey and voted best local brewery again this year. Go visit steelhandsbrewing.com. Hey Gamecocks, at Granger Owings, style starts with you. From custom fits to emerging brands, they offer a curated selection of women's and men's clothing for work, weekends, and every moment in between. Their stylists take the time to understand your lifestyle, then help you build a wardrobe that fits your needs and feels like you. Shop in store, downtown on Main Street and Trenton Plaza, or book a fitting online at grangerowings.com. Granger Owings, where personal style meets personal service.
Did you host a bunch of guys?
Oh man, I hosted, Coach Spray, they knew I was a fun guy. You know what I mean? They knew I was having fun in South Carolina. They definitely knew that. So I hosted Chris Culliver. I hosted, a Clowney when he came. I hosted, the Melvin. I hosted Larry Freeman. I he was the number one receiver coming out of JUCO at the time. These guys, I'm hosting guys that's not even playing O-line or D-line, but Coach Spray just know,
Camp has fun.
He's gonna have a good time. These guys want to have fun. Let's send them to Campbell. So he knew I was gonna have fun, and so Ace Sanders. I hosted Ace Sanders.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just outside Tampa.
Yep. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What was when you got here? Don't tell me Q Rich was your welcome to college football moment.
No, Q Rich definitely wasn't. Tyson Jackson.
Tyson
Jackson, we were playing LSU, and we was on the goal line. We were playing LSU, we was on the goal line. And Tyson Jackson banged on his chest. He had just blew me up or something, made a play. And he came on his chest. He was like, welcome to the SEC. I'm like, ooh, me. Okay.
I don't want to go there anymore. Let's go to the ACC for a minute.
I'm like, I got you.
What about Brandon Spike?
I knew you was gonna say that. Dirty dog.
Thank you.
I knew you was gonna go there. I knew it. I showed my guys. I'm coaching now, so I showed my guys the clip. I was like, hey, sometimes it don't always work out. Sometimes
I've never seen anything like it.
Never seen anything. Remember, Coach Spray made me stand up and apologize to the team.
Sometimes 320 pounds does something that ain't supposed to do.
Do y'all remember that Coach Spray after that game? He made me in the whole meeting room. He brought in the whole staff, everybody. He brought the whole team, everybody all lined up on the walls.
God bless you.
And then he made me stand up and apologize to the team because we on the goal line. Only opportunity to score. Yeah. We getting beat, 56-6 or something like that?
It was bad.
In Florida, only opportunity to score. We at the goal line. This was not my welcome to SEC moment. I learned that I need to watch film myself.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He was downhill.
He was downhill, and what was told to me,
we were power or counter.
We were power. We were running power right here. It was sweet. When what they had told me, the O-line coach told me that he was a scraper guy. That he wasn't finna come down here.
Yeah. Man, helicopter. We need to pull the clip. No, we won't do you like that.
You can pull it.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
I get down here. I don't even get down here. I pull around, and he get down here. Whoop, smoke me. I go flying in the air.
Yeah.
I hit Eric Berry.
You did a 360.
Hit Eric Berry. I mean, not Eric Berry. Baker.
Oh, Eric Baker?
E. Baker. Hit Eric Baker, and he fumbled.
Yep.
I was like, this is the worst day ever.
Hey, shit happens.
Man, so
it ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
It's not.
This game's hard.
Yeah, that was another good moment. Those all moments when I was 275 though.
Yeah,
I wasn't big yet. I was big, in some people's eyes, but
not for an SEC guard.
Not for an SEC guard, nah.
Spikes was 265.
Exactly.
As a linebacker.
That's when we had the big linebackers. Rolando McClain.
Yeah, well, look at the guys we had to play against with Casper, and Norwood. They were running 4.3. My tiny ass comes in at 220, and I'm like, what do I do with those guys?
Cut them.
Yeah, cut them. I don't want to hit them in the face all the time. I got to change it up.
You got to. So that's
So,
funny.
Cat, what are some other like your favorite memories and like on and off the field type deal from those years?
Oh man, some of the favorite memories. I would say just the camaraderie with the guys. You know, I can remember. I can think of times where it's a lot of stuff that was violent that we did. You know, but it was all out of love.
Yep.
You know, like we got to run at 5:30 in the morning. You know, everybody upset, everybody mad. It's a punishment run. O-line, D-line out there. Fitz got us in the freezing cold.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll never forget, one of the big Corey don't want to run. We out here before big Corey.
Yep.
Jerry took it upon himself to straighten them out. You know, everybody else, we all just sitting there like, he's right.
That's
and we
what
just kept on going.
Yep.
You know, nobody said nothing. It
That was
never
like Clifton Geathers and Sorensen.
you know what I mean? Like it was plenty of times that we had that I think were moments that made us closer and made us tighter. You know, I think that those moments were the things that I kind of stick out and remember the most. You know, I remember, I love the games when we beat Florida, we came back and everybody at the stadium, when we get back, that was a great time, beating Alabama.
But it's crazy. It's the little moments that like hit you the most. Like those big moments were cool and all, but it's playing stupid video games, going doing this. It's the barbecues. It's the bowling competitions.
There you go. Like the little time that we had together as a team, I think you remember those moments, the laughter, the jokes, just being able, I don't think I ever been able to joke on guys the way that we joked on each other here. We'll talk about, we'll talk about your mom, we'll talk about your grandma, it didn't matter.
No safe space.
No safe space. And it was like, but it was all from a place of love, it was all from a place of like, we family, and what do brothers do? You know what I mean?
You ride each other.
Yeah, brothers joke around, play, especially when you see each other every single day. So I think those were some of the most memorable moments. Like, of course, being in Alabama and having a big party downtown in the middle of the street, those amazing times. We'll never forget those times. But I think it was more special, just the moments that we had together as a team, like going out and, kicking it, or those memories in the weight room, like when Fitz slapped Hutch, like when Fitz going, like when we're in the weight room, we're maxing out in the weight room and, Fitz going, nobody knows what's going on. We all getting ready to live. We all pumping up Hutch to hit his weights. We doing bench press. And then all of a sudden you see Fitz going, he powering up his hands. I'm thinking he's finna max somebody out or something. He's finna help out. He come over to the Hutch. Going to slap him right in the face. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is crazy. And Hus just takes it. Whoa! And he go and bang out the bench. I'm like, ain't no mother way. Fitz finna come in and just slap me
back.
With pot on his hand. Like when he slapped him, the powder flew up in the air. I'm like, this is a movie. So I think those are the most, memorable moments, that we had and fun times that we had. And, I'm sure that I'm forgetting a lot of, Chris Hale,
oh my
times
God.
with Chris.
We talk about Chris Hale a lot.
Man, you know what I mean? Like, those guys who,
Is Chris Hale alive? Like, have you heard it? Where the hell is that guy?
Chris Hale on Instagram. I just talked to Chris Hale probably yesterday on Instagram. I talked, man, one thing I would say is I think I talked to a lot of guys.
You keep in touch with everybody.
Yeah. I
do.
I think I talked to a lot of guys. I think I talked to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's like, I talked to Joe Hills.
Yep.
I talked to
Superman.
Yeah. I talked to him.
He's a cop down here now.
Yep, he is a cop down there.
He's be a scary
cop.
No shit.
Super scary. He was a man in that Arena Football League too. He was the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, there's a couple of memories that I didn't hear you mention. Something about, don't you still owe me money?
Oh, see, that's because I remember all those too. I talked to you when I first came in here. You're a hustler. You're a con artist. And that's what you do. You know what I mean? He the type of guy. We hanging out all together at the cookout. Garcia, he gonna come and take out his starting offensive guard legs. It's like,
come on, man,
dude,
you protect you.
Don't you want me to protect you? Come and hit me in the back of my legs and laugh about it and have a good time. When we'll go to Garcia's, man. Garcia used to have some of the funnest parties. Go over there to his place and he freaking, what we playing, beer pong?
Yep.
Yeah.
Playing beer pong and he's freaking hustling me.
Yep.
I'm talking about I drill him. I beat him at first, so I'm feeling good. Play me for some money then. Yeah, I'll get him. He come out and I don't even get a shot. I don't even get a shot.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. I don't even get a shot. I'm like, hell no, I ain't paying you no money. I said, he just
He ain't
hustled me.
paying
Ain't
shit.
no way. I ain't giving you no money. Like, this guy is, hey, something else. So, but I think
shit.
those try to body slam me through a table. We had a cookout. He want to pick me up and slam me back on the table. No. What quarterback wants to do that to the offensive lineman? Like,
Yep.
Savage.
that one.
Savage.
That quarterback do. So I think we had some great times. You know, I never forget it. You know, like you need to get on and tell all your stories. Ken cars, drinking on the bricks.
Come on, man.
You was just the man. Like this guy right here he's the real guy. You know, I'm the turn up guy. He the maniac.
I can vouch for that.
God almighty, man. Just throw me under the bus there, eh?
Oh, I love you.
It's all everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it, man. Like
Jeez.
you are something else, man. But I think that's what really made us good. You know, I think that's what really made us good.
We had an edge like that, and that was our thing. Like I wouldn't say there were teams that were more talented than us, bigger, stronger, faster, probably all the above. But I don't think many of those teams were as close as us.
Exactly.
And put in the work that we put in.
Man, I could be on the sideline. I can go yell at DJ.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I can go yell at. I ain't playing defense. I'm like, man, y'all gotta pick it up, man. I go yell at Melvin.
Yeah.
Man, what are y'all doing, man? Like, they'll come yell at me. Like, O-line, y'all need to pick up count, man. What's up with the O-line today? Like, you know, and that's the relationship that we had. Nobody felt like, hold on, man, what you talking to my group for? Yeah. Hold on, why you talking like, man, we're a team.
I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to motivate you.
And you know that because we done put the grind in the summertime when we dead tired. And we like, come on, let's go. Mm-hmm. You know that when we done put the grind in camp and you hurting out there at camp and you like, come on, dog, hey, give me a real rep, give me a live rep so I can get better. Yep. You know this, you know what I'm saying? So now when we get to the game, it's not like, I don't know you.
I've seen it.
You know,
I done seen it. I experienced it. It's been there.
It's been there.
Well, that goes into the next thing, and I'm going to lead it off. And Stephen, you finish this off for me, but never took a day off.
God damn. Knew this shit would pay off.
I knew this shit would pay off. Never took a day off. I knew this shit would pay off every time.
Talk about that mentality, dude. It was infectious. You had the whole team screaming.
Oh man, I think it was more about, you know where I got this from? A Gucci Mane song. You already know.
Atlanta.
You already know. A straight Gucci Mane song. So it was like, man, never take it down because I knew it'd pay off. It was just kind of that thing where it was like, hey, man, we working so hard. Like we don't know when it's going to come.
Don't slight me.
Yeah.
Don't slight this rep.
Yeah. We don't know when the payoff going to come. We don't know when we're going to reap the benefits of this. But as you see, it's like a for life thing.
Yeah, brick by brick.
It's not just like, oh, we're just doing this for the summer. When we get to the fall, it's done. Like that's something that we said that over 15 years ago. And it's still something that like Shaq and Jerry took to the University of Tennessee. And they were saying it at the University of Tennessee, you know what I mean? Like it's like Melvin took to the Chargers, they saying it at Chargers, it's like something that's like, it's just a true statement,
I mean, I would say that anybody that played with us during that time, if they ever heard that phrase, never took a day off, everybody would real right have been. All 120 of us, whatever it was, from the 4 years.
No doubt.
Like if it came up, I mean, we ought to do that. We'll do that in the podcast. We'll lead off with something like that.
And they would say it in a T-Camp voice too.
Yeah. I don't have those pitches. There's only one. Everybody can try it, but it's only one.
And we'll be separated. It'll be like the O-line down here, the offense all over here, the defense all over here when we was running.
But it would be echoed.
It'll be
across
echoed.
The field.
That's what I was just about to say. I yell it out, then somebody else. Because I knew this shit would pay off. Next thing the whistle. Beep.
Yep.
We run it again, So it was kind of, it was just one of those things that was neat. I think everybody should have a slogan.
Yep.
Every team should have something that they embody, something that they, that's them.
Yep.
What is us? You know what I mean? So.
Well, that leads into the next thing is there's a group, YPC. Young Paper Chasers.
Young Paper Chasers.
Tell us about that.
You
and how
tatted
that
on your
came
body.
involved. Yep.
And with the Carolina, we kind of Carolina because it's our heart.
You're still so fat.
Yeah, our heart. Then put the YPC right there too, because that's where it all started. It started right here, and then right afterwards we went YPC.
Who was that? That was you, Keem,
Melvin, DJ Swanger, Stephon Gilmore, Alshon Jeffrey. Guys that just that we were just around, like CeCe Whitlock. You know what I mean? Like, man, I forget about CeCe. CeCe was a state player, number one player in the state of South Carolina,
He
you
was a
know?
dog.
Yeah, like, you know, so I think that was just something that we kind of just created, you know, towards our last year going into, you know, playing professional ball. And it's just all about, you know, about positivity.
Yep.
You know, it's all about positivity. It's just like the Nike brand.
Yep.
You know, the Nike brand has the brand, Under Armour has their brand, YPC is our brand.
Yep.
You know, and it's like we just give back. We just had a cookout in Charlotte for Memorial Weekend. You know, 100 people out there, all free food, free drink. You know, just trying to help people.
It's a culture.
Yeah.
And it's something that y'all built. Well, speaking of CC, remember when CC almost died? Or no, sorry, remember when Clifton Gathers almost died?
Oh no! From what time? What
The
time?
workout?
No, I remember CC almost dying too a bunch of times, but Gathers almost died in the workout.
The sledgehammer?
Oh yes.
CC's crazy.
Yeah,
guys.
CC's crazy. They was gonna fight. The big Cliff was so huge and trying to fight him. He's like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Like, yeah,
And he picked up a
him.
25-pound sledgehammer
Yes.
and like
Because Cliff Gathers is a sledgehammer himself.
it was gonna take a sledgehammer to take him down.
Cliff Gathers is a sledgehammer himself.
In many ways.
Yes, he is.
Oh goodness, we might have to take that off.
Jesus Christ, man. Hysterical.
In many ways, sick.
In many
God
ways, yeah.
damn, y'all are sick, man.
Tailgate Talks is powered by Lanier & Burroughs, South Carolina's premier accident attorneys. If you've been in a truck wreck, car crash, slip and fall, or suffered injury on the job, these guys have the experience to fight for the compensation you deserve. Founding partner Louis Lanier has been battling for South Carolina since 1974, and Shane Burroughs brings over 15 years of top-rated trial experience. Best part? They're Gamecocks, and they offer a free initial consultation and will come to you. Give them a call at 803-268-9800 or visit landblawfirm.com. Lanier & Burroughs, fierce advocates, local roots, proven results.
Home Team Barbecue is fired up to take care of your tailgate and watch party needs this season. Home Team is known for its smoked meats, creative daily specials, and twists on Southern classic. Smoked wings, ribs, pulled pork sliders, barbecue nachos, or classic sides like mac and cheese and collard greens are the perfect feast to fuel your game day. Round up your friends and give Home Team Catering a shout at catering@hometeambarbecue.com or head to 5 Points for a frozen game changer cocktail and barbecue snacks to celebrate the next Gamecocks big win. Visit hometeambarbecue.com to check out the menu.
Tailgate Talks is brought to you by JCQ Farms, a proud South Carolina family farm rooted in tradition and built on quality. Whether it's their premium beef, farm fresh produce, or their signature smoked meats, JCQ Farms brings the taste of the South straight to your table. Perfect for your next tailgate, backyard barbecue, or family dinner. Remember, always support your American farms because they are drying out each day. Support local, eat better, and stock up for the season. JCQ Farms, where quality meets Carolina pride.
Gamecock Nation, it's time to elevate your outdoor space. Palm Casual Outdoor Furniture, Gamecock owned and operated, has you covered with locations all across South Carolina. Whether you're poolside, tailgating, or watching the Gamecocks dominate in your backyard, Palm Casual has the perfect setup for you. Visit them online at palmcasual.com and gear up for a fall filled with Gamecock victories. Cheers to a winning season from the DeMarco back porch, proudly furnished by Palm Casual. All right, let's pivot here. All right, well, so you finish up in 11.
Yep.
Talk about our pro day training. Neither of us were combine guys.
Nope.
But we still grind.
Yep,
And
100%.
Talk about kind of our pro day workouts and getting after it. Like that was never took a day off. Like we got after
still
it.
going. You know what I mean? We both injured. You know, I had broke my fibula the last game of the season, so I missed the bowl game, and you know, I was unfortunate for that. You know, and we were just grinding, working. I remember being up there. You know, I didn't even leave to go train. I just stayed up there and trained because I had that injury. So, you know, we stayed up there training. You came up there and we were just working, man. You know, and I remember you was trying to get back in. You had got let go because you was injured. You know what I mean? And you got back in and never came back out.
I needed you. I
know?
needed your energy for those workouts.
That was great. I think that was a great time. And that everything happened for a reason.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like it was meant to be that way. It was meant for us to be up there together, meant for us to be working out together at that time period. I think it was just me and you, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and who was training us? It was
Joe Connolly.
Joe Connolly. No.
And then Deej.
Remember that dude Snyder or something?
Oh, Tommy Schneider.
Tommy Schneider.
Tommy Schneider.
Holy
Hey, dude, I need to take. Let me get his number because he used to help me out a lot.
He was incredible.
He was incredible. That dude.
He gave us every hour, every day.
Where he at now?
He lives in Chicago.
That's what's up. Yeah, I would love for him to come out to some
He owns
games.
2 gyms.
That's awesome, man. Tommy Schneider was a good dude. He used to help us out. He used to be on it.
He's an asshole. He's straight from Boston.
He
the worst accent ever.
Man, he was awesome though. Yeah, he do got worse accent. Yeah, he do. He definitely.
What'd you just say?
Yeah. So I think that was good, man. And then that led to me, I got some opportunities to go out there and with the Jets, Giants, Redskins, and I think that catapulted me into that and preparing me for that. And then
you played in the CFL for 2 years, 3 years?
2 years.
2 years.
First, I did arena for 2 years.
Yep.
So I left when I did that. I did the football, the NFL with the Jets, Giants, Redskins.
Yep.
That didn't work out. Went and trained in Miami. Ended up going to do arena. I had an opportunity to go to CFL right after that, but then I was like, I think I can do arena and get back into the NFL. Everything was always try to get another opportunity in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know what I was going to, at that point in time, like, what would I go right into and do? You know what I mean? And maybe if I would have really thought into it, I would have been like, I go do coaching or something, but I was just so stuck on like, I'm in great shape. I want to play ball, So I think, and the guys were still helping me out a lot, man. Man, Chris Cutler got me an interview with the San Francisco 49ers. Freaking Melvin Ingram got me an interview with the Chargers.
That's family.
That's love, man. Stephon Gilmore talked to his to the people. I can't remember where he first had went.
Buffalo,
yeah. Buffalo. He talked to them for me. You know what I mean? So it was like I had a lot of guys that still was trying to give me opportunities, still showing me love, man. And I think that was a key factor in my motivation to continue to try to get there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, after you leave the NFL, who's gonna want to go play arena ball? Like when you walk in there and you see all this stuff, you're like, oh my, you've been in the SEC, going to the NFL, now I'm going down to arena. You're like, oh my goodness.
I was just telling Pat about that. I guess what was that, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yep.
I was just telling him about it, man. It is a whole different ball game.
It truly is, and then, but I think going to do that stuff it really humbled me a lot, and then it kind of made me see like, dang, bro, you had so many people helping you with this process, and like when you go do arena, it's like if you don't lift, you don't lift.
No doubt.
If you don't take care of your body,
all on you.
You don't take care of your body. Yep. It's no more like, hey, we got to lift at this time. Hey, we got recovery at this time. Hey, we watching film. We would watch film and stuff like that, but extra stuff.
It wasn't as stringent as all the others were.
Yeah. So it was kind of like I think that kind of humbled me and really made me appreciate it. And when I went there, I had fun. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a great time.
You still turned up.
Oh, I killed it. I had a ball out there. I got all arena. I freaking was scoring touchdowns, catching passes, talking trash to Garcia,
The Predators versus the Storm?
Yep. So it was fun, man. We still play games on TV and stuff like that. So it was still a fun time. Got to go and play against a lot of good competition, a lot of good guys. And then from there, I did that for 2 years. It was great. I had a good time. I got all arena 2 years. You know what I mean? It was cool. Left from there, and then I just honestly, Norwood told me that he was playing with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Tiger Cats,
Yep. So he told me, he was like, hey, we're going to have a tryout in Atlanta. Like, bro, just go to the tryout. And I didn't sign up or nothing. I haven't signed up or nothing. I literally just showed up to Norwood, told me about the tryout, like probably maybe the day before or even that day maybe.
Yep.
Went out there to the park for the tryout. Balled out of the park. Went to the park. I literally did one-on-ones. They signed me on the spot.
Really?
You know what I mean? That's how I got it.
I'm not surprised.
That's how I got in the CFL. Yep. And when I got in the CFL, it still was, we had a mini camp, then you had camp. So at mini camp, it's probably like 10 another 10 American offensive linemen. Yep. So when you go to the CFL, it's really American against American.
Yep.
You're not competing against the Canadian guys because you're going to have a certain amount of Americans. You're going to have a certain amount of Americans on the roster. So it's like probably another 10 offensive tackles up there. I'm thinking I'm going to play guard, and they like, nah, you got to play tackle. The guard, center guard, that's Canadian players.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, so I'm playing tackle now?
Those are our worst players.
Yeah.
We're going to have you Americans play on the
on
outside.
the edge, yeah. And then you're going against other American defensive ends.
Yep.
You're not going, I don't think I went against one Canadian guy out there.
I wish.
Yeah, I wish, But I think every guy I went against was from America,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Dogs.
Yeah, they were good football players, So, and I was playing tackle now. Yep. And I killed it though, you know what I mean? I was training out with Chris Culliver, training with Melvin. Yep. I was in great shape. I went out there and I dominated, killed it. They had one spot open. We didn't know that, but that's what it ended up being. They ended up keeping me, and for the rest of the season, and it was literally probably like 15 American tackles that I'm competing with, but there's one spot. At first, they kept two of us, and then like after the fourth game of the season, they ended up letting him go and just kept me for the rest of the season.
So what shot down the football? You played 2 years up there.
Yep.
And then you just decided to step away?
Yeah, I played 2 years. I could have stepped playing with Saskatchewan. And, I was at Hamilton. I had a good year with Hamilton. Yeah. I got player of the game as offensive lineman. Yep. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, yeah, that was dope. I was like, at left tackle like that. So I think that was like, I had having a great time. And I got an opportunity to go to Saskatchewan for more money, more opportunity. And I took that, and it was going good. And, I ended up getting hurt. Yep. I ended up getting hurt out there. And then the one thing about the CFL, they just can't have you just sitting around on the team. It's not like, NFL.
Yeah, there's not much IR money sitting around in the CFL.
Not at all. Especially maybe if I was Canadian, I would have been all right. If I was, had some type of, I wasn't just American, but then I could have been okay. But with you being American, if you get hurt, you end up out of there. But it was fun, man. I got to go against Norwood. Yep. I got to play against him.
Did you check him out?
Yeah, you already know. Come on, man. He'll tell you a lie. He'll try to tell you. He was like, I was hurt. He was coming off an injury. So he wasn't the young Wood that was in college, He was coming off injury, but
he was a savage.
Oh my goodness gracious. That guy was
you and him,
quick burst.
it must be the Atlanta, but the energy y'all two brought, offense, defense, practice, workouts.
Oh my goodness. We'll be getting stretched, talking crazy to each other. I'm gonna run through you today. Till he be yelling, jab me. I'm like, man, I gotta say something. What I'm gonna say? I'm just sitting over here. Yeah. I got to. Man. The coach, like, y'all don't be doing so much talking. Focus.
So you finished playing. Then you moved out to California?
Nope. I finished playing, then I moved back to Georgia, and then we opened up a gym.
Okay.
In Georgia. So we opened up a gym in Georgia for 1 year. Opened up a gym in Georgia called The Jungle.
Yep.
We did that for a year, me, Melvin, and Akeem, and we had it going big gym. We had it going in Buckhead, Atlanta. And it was fun, but as we doing it, I just realized, like, I don't want to be no gym instructor. Yep. I don't want to be training. Nothing wrong with it, but I don't want to be training
you guys
ladies.
Hit me up about doing like a quarterback camp up there.
Huh?
I remember you guys hit me up about doing like quarterback training and stuff up there.
Yeah, I remember because we had two quarterbacks. I'm up there doing quarterback drills with them up there.
Oh,
it's just I think that we needed more. With that type of stuff, you just need to have a more staff, a good plan together. If you're trying to do something that big, I think if we would have kept it a lot smaller, then maybe we would have kept doing it. But even then, we had a big group, we had a big class, we had a lot of fun, but it wasn't what I wanted to train. I wanted to train athletes. I wanted to train strictly young man, young woman, that's trying to play sports.
Not babysitting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what training sometimes is. They want to come in, they want to talk to you about their problems. It's like, I want to work. I want to work. Let's work. I don't want to talk about all that. Let's get on the wall six.
Yeah, I'll talk. We're gonna talk some shit.
Talk some trash. I'm gonna blast this music. We finna be in here jamming. So I did that, and then after that, that's when I moved to California. I literally, what made me move to California, I was sitting at home and I just typed in on Indeed. 6-figure jobs, entry level. That's literally what I typed in on Indeed.
That's crazy as shit.
And freaking.
That doesn't surprise me one bit though, man. That's funny as shit.
That's what I did. I typed in 6-figure jobs, entry level on Indeed. And truck driving jobs popped up. And I'm like, man, I ain't no truck driver. You know what I mean? I like to talk. I like to, I'm building that road, just me. Like, I ain't trying to do that. I was thinking like them boys get fat doing that truck driving. Like, I'm already big. So I was in my mind, I was like, I don't know about that. So then I ended up seeing police jobs in California. I'm like, damn, they paying the police $125,000 to be a police officer. I'm like, it's a team environment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like, it kind of be similar to playing ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Stay fit.
it's not that team. It's not that team right now.
Yeah.
It's
I agree. So even when I was in there, it was different. So that's what ended up getting me out there. And then the process was, I'm a believer. After the stuff happened with, I say that, what brought me really closer to God was when Kenny passed away. Kenny passed in 2010, and I think that's what really. Everything happened for a reason. I think that was really brought my relationship to God a lot, made my relationship with God a lot better. Made me pray a lot more, made me just, be a little bit more conscious of my environment and what's going on. And I think, going to be a police officer, I think that kind of even increased it even more. I think
more of a calling type thing.
Yeah. I think it was more like, hey, when I went out there, things just was happening for me. It was just opening up for me. Like they came to Atlanta to do my interview. You know what I mean? Like they interviewed me in Atlanta. I did the whole process in Atlanta. Only thing I didn't, when I went to California, I did I had to do a piss test, and I had to do a lie detector.
Okay.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I did a lie detector test.
Don't anything too crazy.
Hey, don't ask me too. She was asking me stuff. She asked you about all kind of stuff. All kind of crazy stuff. Like
who administered the P test? Was it Dr. Cusack?
He ministered plenty of them on us.
No, he did.
I know you know him real well.
He used to call me.
Yeah,
hey, Pat,
I sure do.
I need your pee.
Hey, I believe it. I wish it was Dr. Cusack. Nah, it was the police.
Hey, but you were out in San Jose, right?
Yep, San Jose, California. So that's what took me out there to San Jose, California. And I think that was part of the process of me growing too.
Yep.
I think that put me, when I went out there to California, I was by myself.
Yep.
And I think that's where I really grew the most with myself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I learned a lot more about who I am as a young man, what I stand for, what I want to accomplish. It wasn't no more a team. I think everything in my life had been team this, team that. I was always a part of a team. I was always part of a group, and I think when I went to California, it kind of isolated me because now I'm a police officer. I'm not talking to nobody out there because,
Not really the same crowd you've been with for forever.
100%.
Had your comfort zone.
Not speaking the same language and lingo, not moving. So I'm just chilling, just going about my business and stuff. And I think that really grew me as a person, though, and I met my wife out there, too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So shout out to my lady,
God works in weird ways.
Man, God works in weird ways. I would have never imagined going to San Jose, California, getting married.
Yep.
Like in the first place, getting married, but even just moving to San Jose, California and being a police officer. At that, whoever would have thought I would have been a police officer?
Yep. A lot of faith
Not
in
me.
it, right? I mean, you're just trusting the call.
Like, you got to trust it, I would have never thought that God would put me in a police uniform for 5 years.
I remember you playing basketball against some dudes and talking shit. You didn't change.
Nah, I ain't changed. You already know. And that's the thing about it. Like, even when I was in the police, like, I just believe that everything is happening for a reason. The George Floyd stuff that happened at the time. And I'm out there. I'm on probation at this point in time when it first happened. So, I'm just out there doing whatever they tell me to do. I'm out there standing in the post. I'm front line out there just holding the stick, shield on, like real life. You know what I mean? Like they throwing smoke bombs out there. They out there going crazy. They're like, oh, you can't touch them. I wasn't gonna touch nobody anyway. You know what I mean? Like I was never gonna touch nobody. So they didn't even have to worry about that. But I'm just standing out there, people up in your face yelling, why you wanna be a police officer? You black. Why you wanna do this? I'm just like, and then finally, somebody kept yelling at me. I said something back. And then me talking to that person, I don't know, the cameras just got on me.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
The cameras just got on me. Like I went from talking to this person, explaining to her why I want to be a police officer, telling her about, where I'm from. Like I'm not even from here. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. Like if you knew my true story, you wouldn't even say none of that stuff to me. You would be like, thank you. Yep. I appreciate you being over there. If you knew who I truly was, you'd be like, dang. Yep. Thank you for being over there, man. We need you to be over there.
Front line, yeah.
Yeah, so not even front line, just in general, you want to have people.
Great impact.
There you go. And I think that just, I always tell, like I tell my guys when we coaching now, I tell them like, I want to be impactful. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just be the guy who's just, a picture come up and they be like, dang, who that was right there? Yeah. Oh, he was a chill, cool guy. I want a picture to come up and be like, he was turned. Yeah. He was live. He brought energy. He was a good guy. He came and he stood for something. That's how I always wanted to be looked at.
One of my life mottos is I don't ever want to be transactional. I want to be transformational. I want to, whoever I come in contact with, I don't want it to be what can I do for you? I want us to impact each other in ways that are much deeper, that are going to carry on lives, decades, years down the road.
100%.
And you do that. Everybody you come in contact with, dude, they're better after they come in contact with you than they were before.
I love it. I was reading something, like months ago now. I was reading something and it said, it was like the best thing you can be is a positive voice in somebody's head when they're alone.
Yep.
I was like, ooh, wait.
Yep.
I was like, I don't remember that. I'm like, I'm going to keep that to me all the time. Because that's the best thing you can be. Like when somebody's alone or going through something or something challenging, you want to be that. And I like to think that the positive voice is not me, it's God.
Yep.
I like to think God is giving you something, is telling you something, but maybe he just, he used people for what he want to accomplish. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just God you hear him, but you think, oh yeah, TK, be going hard, he'll be turning up. And God telling you that.
Well, that's goes back to kind of the quote of like, true character is who you are when nobody's around you, nobody's watching. Like who are you when nobody's sitting there over your shoulder and you feel like you got to act a certain way? And did you, like, you two have been the same person your entire lives, every situation possible. And I think, honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Is you bring energy, you're crazy as hell, you're beautifully you in so many ways, and I love you so much.
Love them.
But like that's just like that's a lost art because everyone wants to be like, who do I need to be in this situation? You're going to be in this situation.
Be you.
And you two are you, and that's why I love you guys.
And it's just like, if you're gonna like it, you're gonna like it. If you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna like it. Even with my coaching style, like my coaching style is maybe probably old school.
Yep.
I'm up in your face, I'm yelling, I'm gonna jump around with you, I'm gonna bang you, we're gonna fight in the huddle, I don't care if you wanna say something, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna get it from me.
I'm gonna help you long term.
That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to be your buddy. I try to think of coaching like, hey, who would I wanted as a coach when I was playing?
Yep.
What would I have wanted? And I always be like, I loved when coaches would be like, you're not playing because of X, Y, and Z. Not we just walk into the meeting room, the depth chart changed. I'm up here wondering why I'm not starting no more. Ain't nobody told me nothing. I'm thinking in my mind like, damn, I thought I was playing good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nobody said nothing to me, not knowing like I ain't stepping the right way. I ain't doing this the right way, and they feel that somebody can do it better. It's like, okay, tell me that so that way I can try to do that. Tell me that I'm doing well so I can try to keep doing well, And I think that's the coach I try to be. I try to be straightforward with you, straight honest.
Yeah, well, that leads into, tell us what you're doing now.
Coaching.
Yep.
Coaching. I jumped back into coaching, so I did 5 years with police, got up out of there, jumped into the coaching game last year, my first year, at the NAIA down there in McPherson College. I had my own room. I was the D-line coach over there, and I think it was excellent. I thought it was
You were doing some strength and conditioning stuff, too.
I was a strength and conditioning coach, too. Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. That is black eye style workouts. Y'all saw the workouts? I be murdering them. I be trying to, I have a ritual. The first workout, you got to throw up. You know what I mean? If you, unless you're in great shape, if you're in great shape, you'll be fine. But, I try to tell those guys, I'm playing I'm at a lower level, but the kids, they want to learn. They want to be just as good. You know what I mean? It's not like they're like, oh, I'm down here.
They want to be fed.
Yeah.
They want to be fed.
And so, man, I do that stuff and they love it. They enjoy it, man. They love the energy. They, every place I done went to, they call me Juice Man.
Yeah.
Everybody like, you the Juice Man, dog. Like, you bringing
like
it.
8 inches taller than our Juice Man. And you didn't take any roids like our Juice Man did.
I did.
Actually,
yeah. Juice Man, I was just looking at the wall over there. I was like, Juice Man on the wall.
Juice Man on the wall. Yeah.
But I'm coaching now, so I was at McPherson College last year.
Yep.
They haven't won in like 10 years. We went 8-3.
Hell yeah.
Should have freaking won the conference. We lost by 1 point. I had 5 all-conference defensive linemen. They had 1 all-conference defensive lineman the year before.
Wow.
Like, really, really went out there and was able to turn it up. And, then I got another opportunity. The thing with me is I go to camps, right? So I go to different camps. I just got into coaching. So I go to like a mega camp and I volunteer to coach.
Yep.
Because I know it's a bunch of coaches out here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know that
let them
they
see
look.
work.
There you go. Let them see me work. And then I work the same way. High energy, loud, yelling at you, on you. Because I don't never ever want to be a different way, and then they bring me in. They're like, "Damn, I thought you was this way." Like, no, this is how I am.
This is
Like,
what you get.
This
Yeah.
is what you're gonna get. I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna be turned up. You know, I'm gonna run out there on the field. I'm gonna yell things. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, and I ended up meeting a lot of coaches after doing that camp, and got a lot of numbers. After we finished the season in December, I reached out to those coaches just trying to see what's up. And ended up getting the opportunity to go to a D2 at Lincoln University in Missouri. So I'm out there now. I got out there in March. Went through spring ball, and you know, same way. You know, I'm being the same way, same recipe. You know, same recipe, same kind of sauce on you. You know, set the standard from the beginning so that you know that I'm not joking around, I'm not playing. Like, and I'm cool, you know, and I still love on you. I still, man, we'll go out to eat, you know, we'll go do bowling, you know, I invite y'all to the house to eat because it's like, I know what it is.
It's family, right?
Yeah, I know.
You're creating your own. You got a good group?
I do got a good defensive line. You know, the team hasn't been, this is another team that hasn't been that great.
Okay.
You know, they only won, the seniors on this team, they only won one game in 4 years.
Good.
So
Up from there.
I can't go number up from there. You know, but you know, I think that we got a good group. I think it just lacks a little discipline and a little work. You know, so I think I got a good group this year, and they working. You know what I mean? They done bought into what I'm selling, and they pushing themselves. And man, I can't thank Travian enough for helping me with stuff. Like I'm talking about Travian, I'm talking about send me. Man, we got so many great dudes, man. Travian send me stuff. Jared send me stuff. Shaq send me stuff. You know, it's like we have such a great group of guys, man. It's like that foundation that we built in college. It's like a lifetime foundation. You know what I mean? That's what's so amazing about it. That's why I try to tell them, like, you know, that's why I got it tatted on my heart, you know, because South Carolina changed my life. You know, it wasn't like I came up here and was just, oh, yeah. No, like, it's a life. Like, my closest relationships, a lot of things that I do, all involve people from South Carolina.
That's awesome. I mean, it's a 4 or 5 years of, it's tough. There were times where I didn't want to do it anymore. You probably didn't want to do it anymore. I know Steven talked about it at times, but like, it's because of the people you were surrounded with that you always came back, always come back and show up for them.
Yep, I agree.
Well, I mean, since you got a pretty unique perspective because you played at a high level, you got away from it, pretty far away from it, and then you got back in. Now you're living it. But what advice would you give to like current guys that are out there still playing?
Man, to treat all your reps like they live.
Okay.
You know, like even when we're in the summertime stuff now, you're doing summer workouts, you gotta, as a ball player, you need to have an imagination. You need to, if I'm the DB and we doing walkthrough or we working on something right now, drill, I need to be imagining this wide receiver in front of me doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm working this to this. You know what I mean? Like I need to imagine the offensive lineman in front of me coming to drive block me, boom, I sit it down to a gallop, I work my stuff. I need to imagine this offensive line going down, I'm going right off his ass, working my surf. I need to imagine those things because, you know, and that's gonna give me a live rep. It's like if I get so many live reps at it in practice, you know, pushing myself, even though it may be with a scout team player. When you get to the game, when you get to the game and you see that same formation, that same look, what you gonna be like? Ding, ding, ding.
Remember that.
I remember this. And we all know that as players, you know what I mean? So I think that's one of the things that I would tell guys, you know, that's playing right now, that's out there right now, you know, just to use those, any rep that you're taking.
Even when you're on the sideline watching something happen, right? You can pick something up there.
Man, pay attention. You know, a lot of guys get over there on the sideline. Oh, I'm not playing. Oh, this don't involve me. Or I only want to watch the film with the players that I'm in. No, dude. Watch the film with plays with Johnny's in too, because I'm telling Johnny something that pertains to y'all too. You know, I'm not just talking to him. So it's like, you know, I tell guys, like, don't just watch your film. Don't just be, I'm just walking through this. Oh, coach, it was just a chill day today. It's like, man, like, you only have an opportunity to play football until you're 25 if you're lucky.
If you're lucky,
If you're lucky. Now, if you're 25 playing ball, that means you professional. Most like nowadays, you know, they do a lot of transferring, they get a little older. But the norm is if you're 25 playing football, you're a professional.
You're a vested professional too.
For sure. You're about to be on your second contract. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about it. Like I just try to tell guys, like, man, you know, just while you in it, be in it. You know, if I could go back and go back and do. You know, I love college. I always say I wouldn't do it no different because we had a ball. I had a great time. You know, I really lived the college experience, but I probably would cut out some of the extracurricular activities that we
Focus a
did
little
just to
more,
get all I can get out of my body
Yep.
in this short period of time.
Yep.
You know, I played football until I was 28.
Yep. Blessings.
Blessings. That was a blessing, but that was it though. That's
Yep.
still how much more life, you know, we lucky we get to live until.
His shoulders are off.
You see, I can't even do it. You see, I can't even lift it up. My shoulders tore up. I can't do nothing. Handcuffs? Oh, I couldn't be in no handcuffs. When we was doing drills and stuff, oh, nah, you got to cuff me in the front, baby. I can't go to jail. My shoulder's too messed up. So, nah, but that's what I would say. Just, you know, take everything as a real rep, man.
That leads into last but definitely most important here is brag on your family. Married with the kiddos.
Oh, married, man, my wife, Anna Campbell, man, Spanish lady, Spanish mommy, that's my baby, man. Like, she a good lady, you know, she helped me out tremendously. She's like, I feel like that was my true blessing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, getting married, I feel like helped me in even more ways than anything else because it just gave me a conscience.
Yep.
Something that, you know, some people don't know about, but it put something in me to give me a conscience, you know, to make me think about stuff and see things. I think I would say my wife was more important than me even having little girls.
Yep.
You know, I love my little girls, but you know, marrying my wife and having that commitment and having that partnership, and she come from something totally different from how I grew up, California, Atlanta, Georgia. You know, she's
total opposite.
Total opposite. Spanish lady, grew up with her family all her whole life. You know, I left at 18, never been back home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like I think that she just helps me see things in a different perspective. Helps me relax.
Yep.
Like, you know, she's not the one who's like, let's do it.
Yep.
Like, go. She's like,
back.
she's like, think about it now. She like, you know, like sometimes I say some stuff to some people, and she's like, that's not the right thing to say, apologize. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, and I go and I apologize to these kids, and I'm just like, maybe it helps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, I do what you say. Like, tell them please, say thank you. You know, just being, you know, it's not like it's not a place like I'm being rude or nothing like that, but it's just like a little thing. She's just a lady and just even just being more calmer, like she just helped me with a lot of stuff, man.
You got two little girls?
Two little girls,
boy, right?
one little boy. Milana and Lucy, they live in Germany.
Yep.
You know, they 11 and 9. They mom German, they live all the way out there in Germany. See them on the summertime and stuff. It's awesome. They doing great. And I got my little boy with my wife now, the little sugar man.
He's gonna be crazy as hell.
He's gonna be off the chain. He's already maybe off the chain. Like my wife be like, I'm ready to come home.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to come home. He needs to get back with his dad. Like,
Terrence, what's wrong with him? You're like, ain't nothing wrong with him. He's mine.
He living. He doing it the right way, you know, throwing blocks, you know. He threw a car and broke my TV.
Did he really?
I'm like, dude, can't be mad at you.
Yep. I love that.
Yep. I would have did it. You know, it was my fault. I shouldn't have had the TV this low.
Yep.
Not even your fault. It was my fault. I ain't even mad, you know. So, nah, but I think that's my biggest
You sound like
blessing.
Coach Furrier right there. Hey, it's my fault for recruiting you. It's not
Yeah.
your fault.
Hey,
It's my fault.
that's how it
He went
sounds
straight for the soul.
all the time. Like, damn, Tizzy, I thought you was going to be a player. You recruited you looking good. You had energy. Like, hey, what's going on? He don't even yell and cuss you out. He'll say stuff like that to you. You'll feel heartbroken. You'll be like, I'm a show coach, you know? So I think that's the fun thing about ball is you get to deal with different guys, different kids, and you just got to try to figure out a way to teach them.
Yep.
You know, you got to figure out a way. Everybody learn different. Everybody come from different backgrounds and stuff like that. So I think it's amazing that, you know, I'm able to teach ball, but I'm also able to, you know, talk about God, talk about life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you just going to come to me and get ball. You going to get
Well, that goes
Life.
in the same thing
Life.
with faith is nobody's too far from being saved. Just like any kid, no matter your backgrounds, no matter how much trouble you've been through, there's a way I can reach you. It's just going to take a shitload of work for me to get there, but I'm not going to give up on it.
I'm not. You know, I had a guy when I first got to Lincoln, right? He was, you know, we would say our prayers and stuff like that in a team form, you know, when we all saying. And I got there like, man, after the first week, coach like, yeah, you can say the prayer.
Yep.
I'm like, I love that, you know, people can see that light in me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I just met this coach, the head coach.
Yep.
I knew the D coordinator for like a year, but I just met the head coach and, you know, we breaking it down.
Trust
you know,
you
they had a
did.
kid to say the prayer, then all of a sudden he like, Campbell, you got it. You know, and I love that, you know, I didn't say nothing to him about God. I didn't say nothing to him about anything. I just love that, you know, I feel like the light shining.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like God is showing up and, you know, it's like you just asked me to say the prayer. I'm like, let's do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think that's amazing. And, you know, and when I first got there as a kid, you know, who I say the prayer, he on the D line, he kind of like, oh, I don't do this. And walk out. You know, I see him, never say nothing to him. I don't never say nothing to him. Every day I send stuff to our group message. You know, boom, something about God, something about life every day. You know, and then one day, you know, like probably like 2 weeks ago, he was like, man, I got to get my relationship back closer to God. I'm like,
That's it.
look at that. You know, I ain't say nothing to him about God. I didn't say, I saw him stepping away from the huddle and going to stand back on his own while we all praying, never said a word to him. I just kept sending the stuff, kept talking about God. It ain't gonna change what I do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We eat together. Oh, I'm gonna say this prayer.
Yep.
You're gonna bow your head.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna change what I do. So I think that, you know, just to hear him say that, I'm like, man, I'm doing what God want me to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what I always was about. I'm always about just building people up.
You're a
helping people.
fisher of men for sure.
That's it, man. And I think that's what give me the energy and juice. I love doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I get out there, turn up, run. I love doing this.
I might need you to send me a recording or something as my alarm when I wake up in the morning. Just like somehow.
Let's go.
Get up. Like, okay. It's time.
Slime. Like, yeah. That's your alarm when you wake up. Let's go. Slime.
I would throw my phone
That's a good one right
the
there.
window if that was my alarm. I would throw my phone through the window if that was my alarm.
I need to get that right there as an alarm for sure.
I'd take a sledgehammer to it.
Everybody that love that, they will pop right up. They'll be like, oh, it's time to shake. Ready to go. But thank y'all for having me on here, man. This is dope, man. I love what y'all doing. If I can always help anyway, man, I'm with it.